Hey, this is Vashti coming to you from Vashti Sales. I'm totally running errands, but you can tell it's just so bright outside. I wonder if that would be better. So, there is a lot of talk these days, and it probably has been for a while, about getting rid of people that are toxic, getting toxic people out of your life. And I do believe that that's important, that you have a system in place in how you live your life so that toxic people are not a part of it. And it's not that the person is, but you've set up boundaries around certain behavior. And the people that want to stay attached to that behavior can't be part of your life. So it's really, you're setting up boundaries around the behavior, around toxic behavior. And that might mean that the person is no longer in your life because they're so attached to their behavior, and they'd rather keep their behavior than be with you, or modify their behavior, or even negotiate their behavior. And I'm just going to say that sometimes toxic or behavior is not necessarily toxic, but it feels toxic to you because it's not something that you want to deal with or manage or know how to control. And I've had people in my life that I've I can't have this person in my life right now. But as I grew and matured, I thought, okay, I can actually have them in my life because I'm not so triggered by their immaturity, and I have the capacity to move past it, or switch the conversation, or confront, or whatever I need to do to keep it going. But here's what I want to say. This is what I'm actually talking about today, is the idea of being in a married relationship. When my husband and I got married at early 24, we had all of these, well, he did mostly. Since my mother had left and my second mom died of cancer shortly after she married my dad, I really didn't have a model of what it looked like to be in a long-term relationship. And now my third mom, she's been in my life for many, many years now, decades even, like 30 years plus. But I was kind of already out of the house at that point. And so my husband and I had grandiose ideas about getting married and being together and blah, blah, blah. But right away, those ideals are crushed. And this is what I want to say. My husband at 24 was emotionally immature. He had his own trauma wounds from neglect and abuse. He was emotionally immature. He was overbearing. He was impulsive, and a bunch of different things that literally anybody could say, you should have left him. But do you want to hear something? I was also immature. I also had wounds from neglect and abuse. I was not emotionally, I wasn't overbearing and manipulative. I was detached and a complainer and unhappy. And generally bitter and angry and unhappy and discontent. Listen, neither one of us were anything worth fighting for. We were both immature. And I'm telling you, if you're with somebody right now, and I'm not talking about dangerous abuse, I'm not talking about that. And I'm not even going to tell you anything about your relationship. You have to figure that out. I'm just saying a filter to use. I'm talking about a filter that you can use in managing your partner relationship, which I recommend it be as few as possible. But managing your partner relationship, your spouse, you and your spouse's relationship, and that is, consider the fact that they're not actually toxic, they're just really immature, and you are also immature. And you cannot mature them. You can't. The only thing that you can do is decide in your mind if this is something that you are worth fighting for your own sake, for your own context for growing and maturing. If this is something you're worth fighting for, because relationships long-term relationships, committed relationship is the best context for growing as a human being. And it's especially a partner relationship, because it's a you're getting something out of it, not like a parent-child, where the child is literally giving you nothing back except for, being mad at you all the, especially small children. But children aren't trying to get back to you; they're trying to take from you, and that's the adult-child dynamic. But a partner relationship, there's the potential and the propensity for getting back, for doing something, for receiving something back, encouragement, utilizing their gifts that you don't have. Ideally, they're helping you go farther in life, grow into a more dynamic, complex, and rounded version of your true self, and then fulfilling a purpose in life that you couldn't fulfill otherwise. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a really roundabout way is, all of your relationships, or your relationship with your spouse or your partner right now, it may not be toxic. It might just be very immature. And the thing that you can do is you can grow in maturity, because the more you grow in maturity, the more you know how to set healthy boundaries on behavior, and learn how to love and give in an authentic way to the object of your love, which is a person. Though you creating a growth environment, which allows that other person to also, it will not only allow them, but it will naturally stimulate growth in that other person. It's like having a plant in the house. The plant is going to grow if you provide an environment that's conducive for growth. So the more you grow, the more you focus on yourself, it naturally creates an environment conducive for the other person to grow. And think about, focus on the reason that you are together with this person in the first place. In all of my experience, the thing that keeps people together is not the good sex. That goes up and down during the lifespan. It's not, the the attractiveness, or all that goes away. It comes and goes throughout your lifespan. It comes and goes. But honestly, it's a shared purpose. That's the thing that I've noticed the most that keeps people together, is that you have a shared purpose, and that purpose elevates your desire to change and to stay together. Honestly, my husband and I have been married now for 35 years. He is way more mature than he used to be. Honestly, I'm way more mature than I used to be. There have been many, many pockets in our marriage where he was annoying the hell out of me, and I know that I was annoying the hell out of him. But we've stuck with it, and there are a lot of times where we just really, really enjoy being together, and it's gotten more and more. And honestly, I am so glad we've stuck it out. So glad we're in such a good, comfortable spot right now. Totally worth it. I would never want to start over. We are doing things together. We have a house. We have grandbabies. We just do life together. We have our restaurants that we go to. It's fun. It's so worth fighting for. So worth fighting for. Kind of rambling, but don't give up on your young relationships because you're both young and immature. It's not. Figure out a way to stick it out, unless if you have people in your life telling you're in a toxic, abusive relationship, I would definitely listen to them. Honestly, I would definitely listen to them. People aren't going to be telling you that unless it's true, because for the most part, people try to mind their own business. They don't want to get involved. But if you're in a relationship with other people have told you your relationship is toxic, I'd definitely listen to that. For sure. That's my experience. All right. Have a great day. This is Vashti, and to make yourself at home.